Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is the case of Nicola Jane Bulley, a 45-year-old mother who was reported missing on the 27th of January at 9:15. She was last seen at the River Tor Park in St. Michael's.
Picture the scene. It's tomorrow morning, a lovely weekend stretches ahead that you're looking forward to spending with the family and friends. Maybe the kids are off playing or watching sport. Possibly your other half is taking the dog for a walk before you go shopping or out for a nice meal together. You might be meeting your mates later on for a few drinks in town or down the local. The simple day-to-day stuff of just living your life with those you love. Then the unimaginable happens. Your child never comes back from that football match. Your partner fails to return from their dog walking. That friend simply doesn't turn up for your night out. Just running late, you tell yourself, reaching for the mobile. Giving them a quick call though, just in case. The phone goes to voicemail. You leave a jokey message. And then another one. And then a slightly angry one. They don't get back though. That's weird. And suddenly, those first ice-cold fingers of fear start creeping up your spine. What if they've had an accident? Are they lying hurt somewhere in pain and helpless? You try to dismiss the anxiety, telling yourself there's a perfectly logical explanation and you'll hear their key in the door soon. But you don't, and you never do. Not that day, or the next, or the next. And even worse is that no one, not the police, not the people they were with, or anyone else knows what has happened. They have literally vanished into thin air. It's this gut-wrenching hell of confusion and torment that the family of missing Mama 2, Nicola Bulley, are now facing. Nicola just took her dog for a walk along a riverbank she has strolled 1,000 times before, a week ago today. She was seen by other regular dog walkers and joined a work conference called All Regular Behaviour. Then she disappeared. Her phone was left on a bench by the side of the river, her dog Willow running loose nearby, no sign of a struggle. She was just gone. If you've ever loved anyone, you can only just begin to understand the hell that her mum, dad, sister and partner are going through 1 week on. The agony etched on their tearful faces as they appealed for Nicola to get in touch was heartbreaking. This has emptied our lives, Dad Ernest said, and never has the word empty carried so much weight. They must feel utterly hollowed out with despair. The dread that Nicola's body will be found, the hope that she will turn up safe and sound, that every waking moment must be consumed with Nicola. Analysing everything she said, everything they said, and everything they did before she disappeared. It's a never-ending torture. The police appeared to believe Nicola slipped and fell into the very slow-flowing Willow Wire and have concentrated searching the water. But they still haven't found anything. It's the not knowing where the true horrors lie. Nicola's partner, Paul Ansell, admits that he keeps playing every scenario around in his head and will never give up hope. And none of us would we? Because we always hope against hope that a missing loved one will turn up safe and sound, no matter how many hours, days, weeks, or heaven forbid, years that they are missing. Paul says he is trying to hold it together for the sake of the 2 daughters he shares with Nicola, aged just 6 and 9. But even he admits there are times when that's impossible. Because what do you say to a bewildered and scared little girl when she asks when her mummy is coming home, knowing that potentially you may never, ever be able
who has no understanding of police matters, but I have one question for you. Literally, in less than an hour before we came on air tonight, this statement from the police, high risk and specific vulnerabilities this morning, followed by this statement just now saying alcohol problems, a disturbance at the house in January, nobody arrested. They presumably have known that since the start of this. Why did Lancashire Police, with the greatest of respect, come straight out and say the river 3 weeks ago? Do you believe that was the right approach?
The new information is, I think, has been brought about in a little bit of a panic under stress as well, because the senior officer there is telling us that there is an awful lot going on. All the sort of things that you would expect to go on are going on. They have engaged with the National Crime Agency and all the sort of niche services they can bring in to help in how to search and the river and the tide, all those sort of things that you would want. But I don't think it was planned to say about the vulnerabilities, because if you had your strategies right at the beginning in terms of your media, you would just say, here are my 3 hypotheses, as the superintendent said, that she's either in the river, whether voluntarily or not, that she has left of her own accord, or she has left through third party.
But we never heard about 3 hypotheses for the last 3 weeks.
They would be there. I think what she said was that they're always they're going to be there. They're always looked. They're always reviewed.
But my question is very simple. They will have had that information about her vulnerabilities and why she's a high-risk missing person. Why, if they knew that, Si, did they come out and say straight away she's fallen in the river?
Well, I don't know. I think it's probably bad media advice, possibly. But I think you wouldn't have to say anything like that if you'd have said you give weight to all of your different hypotheses. They're all the same. They all carry the same weight because they are all possibilities that cannot be discarded unless there is evidence to discard each one.
I mean, I think that's the point. I assume, and I don't want to criticise the police, but I have to ask the question. You would assume that somebody in Lancashire Police has thought that if this poor woman had alcohol issues, and we talk about the 10th of January and that visit to the house, they will have known about that because that will have been on record. But somebody went, well, obviously she's got alcohol issues and she's fallen in the river.
Yeah, I mean, you can't necessarily make that jump from alcoholism to, to being in the river. If she is vulnerable in that way, she could have walked away herself and gone away as far as possible. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's gone into the river.
No, but it gave rise, this is what I'm trying to get to, is it gave rise to everybody getting involved with other theories. And Peter Folding, who'll be on, bringing all of this sonar equipment and almost dredging this river, to be honest, and saying there's nobody there. I don't want to put you in a difficult position, but do you think that the police approached this case in the wrong way from the get-go?
I don't think, from what the superintendent said today, the things that I would expect to have been done are being done. And she's pointed out that I think the messaging, as I said before, is what has caused this. If your messaging is, I am giving weight to all 3 of these hypotheses and not one is favoured in the other because I don't have the evidence to push it into one, then you wouldn't even need to mention vulnerabilities. And I think possibly she's mentioned that under pressure in that conference, realised that the family haven't been briefed on that she was going to say that, hence why you then had a second one. Because anything that you say as an SIO in front of the press, whether it's an appeal or something of that nature, you run it always past the family first. So there are no surprises.
So your belief today is that Nicola Bulley's family, who have suffered already unbelievably in the last 3 weeks, would have been blindsided by the press conference this morning.
It's one possibility.
But that is mishandling the situation, isn't it?
I think it was a bit of pressure that probably hasn't been seen like that for an SIO for quite a long time, and perhaps that's the reaction.
This was Nicola Bulley on the morning she disappeared. With her dog, Willow, just visible in the boot. These images are from the family's home security camera. It shows the missing mum wearing the clothes she was last seen in, preparing to drive her daughters to school. That was 10 days ago. And her family are desperate for answers. On Saturday, like us, Nicola Bulley's family spotted a police search helicopter above the village where she went missing. Her partner Paul shared the moment with Sky News when their youngest daughter Sophia saw it too from the car window. Nicola Bulley's daughters, Harriet and Sophia, are 9 and 6.
We're all a group of mums. Most of our children all attend the same school.
They are girls full of questions about when they'll see Mummy.
It's hard for them. They've got all the same emotions as everybody else, and they want to see the mum, and they don't know where she is, and they just desperately want a home. And I guess that's all they're asking all the time is, where is she, and is she coming home? Yeah.
Nicola's friend, Jill, according to me, this is my personal opinion only, I just believe that Jill is quite genuine. She's the only one who seems to have tears in her eyes when she talks about Nicola, when she talks about the children, and when she talks about what the family is going through. And she looks like she knows more than she's obviously saying. But I can imagine, even if she knows who did this to Nicola, allegedly, there's not much she can say. She lives in that small village or town.
Just can't, if I'm being honest, it feels like I'm just stuck in a nightmare. We're going round and round in circles trying to piece together what could have possibly happened. And we've just got to keep such an open mind with everything because we just have no idea where she is. It's like she's just vanished into thin air. There's no evidence to point us in any direction.
I am so fed up of hearing the sentence. I feel like I'm stuck in a dream, a nightmare, vanished, brick wall. You end in a brick wall. It's like they're using the same words. I do understand you are stuck in a nightmare. You are right, Louise. Nicola's sister is stuck in a nightmare. I'm definitely sure of that. But it's just like the same words are being used by each and every of them. Exactly the same words and the same script.
Where she is. It's like she's just vanished into thin air. There's no evidence to point us in any direction. Obviously, my hope is that she's still out there. Something's happened and she's, I don't know, needed to take herself off for whatever reason, and we just want a home. We need her home. Her children need a home. It's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Only for you, what's the last week been like as a father?
It's been very difficult. As from last Friday morning to date, it's just been so painful. We're such a close-knit family. We talk to each other, both our children, Louise and Nicola, and the children every day. There's not a day goes by without talking to them. And this has just emptied our lives at the minute. We just feel so empty. We appreciate everything that everyone's doing to find her. The police have been brilliant. The local community has been outstanding. And it's just comforting from that point of view. But at the end of the day, we just want her back.
On that point, the community spirit has been unbelievable in a very small village. How much has that helped you, knowing that people have come from far and wide to help look for your daughter?
Massive. It's been massive. We've really appreciated it, and everyone that's been involved doing the sweep search of the fields, etc. It's just given us hope that someone might find something that could give us that little clue to what might have happened.
We just need something. We're nearly a week on tomorrow, and we're just going around in circles. It's like something's got to have been missed. There's got to be, somebody must know something. Somebody must know. People don't just vanish into thin air. There's got to be somebody that knows something. And all we are asking, no matter how small or big, if there's anything that you can remember that just doesn't seem right, then please reach out to the police. Please just get in touch and get my sister back.
I was going to ask you that, Lou.
I really don't understand what is really going on. When I listen to the father's interview, I feel that he's really genuine. But Louise seems to be taking this very lightly, or maybe it could be possible that she's too stressed and anxious, nervous. But she keeps on saying, Nikki, if you needed to take yourself out for something, just come home. There's even a part in the interview where she says something about the children, like we have to go on in life. The children have to continue their life and all. And then